So today we're going to take a review of 1.1 and 1.2. So we first talked about when functions are increasing, when they're decreasing, and when they're constant. And you guys are doing a great job with that. The next thing we talked about was concavity. It's like a concave up, a smile, when rates of change are increasing. And it's concave down, like a frown, when rates of change are decreasing. The point of inflection is when it changes from concave up to concave down. So here, this is part of a smile. Then it probably changes about right here. And now it's starting to frown. And then it goes back to a smile. And you can kind of think it in slopes. The slope is increasing, increasing, increasing. But now the slope actually starts to decrease on that curve. So it's concave up using interval notation, negative infinity to negative 0.5 and 3 to infinity. And then it's concave down from negative 0.5 to 3. So are rates of change increasing or decreasing? So again, this is when it's concave up, they're increasing. Because right here, if we look at this slope, the function is decreasing. But if I was to look at this slope, it's kind of like this has a -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0 slope. And then it starts getting steeper and steeper. Whereas this one here, concave down, our slopes are decreasing because it starts steep, maybe a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and then it starts becoming more negative or lower, smaller, excuse me. So a couple things. If the rate of change is positive, it's increasing. If the rate of change is negative, it's decreasing. If the rate of change is increasing, it's concave up. If it's decreasing, it's concave down. It's kind of a summary there. So if we look at this, is the rate of change increasing or decreasing, and why? So -4 is right here. Well, I would say it is concave up because the rate of change is increasing. And it's concave up. Whereas x equals 6 right up here, that's also concave up. It's getting steeper, so the rate of change is increasing. And again, we can say it's concave up. How about at 1.7? So maybe right here. Well, its rate of change is decreasing. It's slowing down, and it's concave down. At x equals -2, so right here, I would say the rate of change is increasing because it's concave up. 4.2 right here, that's also increasing because it's concave up. And at 3.5 right here, so rate of change is increasing because again, it's concave up. So even though its rate of change is negative there, it's getting closer to 0. So if we take a look at this, the graph itself, well, the graph is positive. The rate of change is negative. The graph itself is decreasing, and the rate of change is becoming less. It's increasing because it's getting closer to 0. It's going from like -5, -4. It's flattening out, so the rate of change is decreasing. Now what about this one? The graph is negative. It's under the x-axis. The rate of change is positive. The graph is increasing, and our rate of change, we can see it's positive, but it's slowing down, so the rate of change is decreasing. On this one, our graph, it's still positive. It's above the x-axis. The rate of change is negative. It's going down. The graph is decreasing, and the rate of change, it's becoming more negative. It's becoming steeper, so that would mean that the graph is decreasing because it's like -5, -6, -7. So average rate of change, we have talked about this as talking about slope, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We've also looked at it in function notation. F of a minus f of b all over a minus b. So if we're to take a look at this graph from x equals 1 to 4, so we'd want f of 4 minus f of 1 over 4 minus 1. So f of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 is 5, because this is the coordinate 4, 5. This is the coordinate 1, -3. So f of 1 is -3 all over 3. So we have 8 over 3 as our rate of change. Now determine the interval over, that's supposed to be -7. So f of 0, I guess we have an h here. So we have h of 0 minus h of -7, 0 minus -7. So on the bottom, I know that's 7. So h of 0, well, what is 0 squared plus 4 times 0 minus 4? Well, that's -4. And h of -7, -7 squared, 4 times -7 minus 4. Now that is let's see, so 49 minus 28 minus 4. So we have 17. So h of 0 is -4 minus h of 7, which is 17. So we have -21 over 7 or -3.